Hey guys, this is Chris.
Hey guys, it's David.
And we are here with Drop the Disc podcast. As you can tell in our voices, we are ready for this quarantine to be over.
Yeah, pretend it's super early in the morning so that'll explain why we're tired.
Right, exactly. And technically, this is spring break for all you teachers out there. And this is actually Masters Week.
Woo! How's everyone enjoying their Masters Week?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Getting all your homemade pimento cheese sandwiches in as you can get. Easter Sundays on Sunday. It's all just crazy that we're all in our homes right now.
Yep.
And, David and I are recording on Zoom, and he has the background of actually what looks like of our scene from our studio.
It is. I took a picture out of our window.
That's incredible. That's a great idea.
So I can pretend we're in the office.
That's pretty cool. My background is outer space, so that's not real at all. But anyways, hey guys, we're here again bringing to you an episode that we have actually recorded already a while back. It was one of two parts of Millennials Wining.
Right.
And that was recorded in shared space, RIP. And before we get that going, though, we want to shout out, if y'all follow us on Instagram, you'll see that we've been shouting out all of our partners. But our presenting sponsor for 2020 is Nancy Powell. Those of you that have been with us since the beginning of her presenting sponsoring for us, she has gone from Concierge Realty, and now she is the person in charge of her own entity, which is Powell and Associates Incorporated. And she is a real estate broker, not associate broker in there.
Right.
She is the broker, which is incredible. And I'm going to be short and sweet about her. We are closing on a house. And we are, if y'all are interested in that process that my wife and I took with her and how easy and how intentional it was with her, please reach out to us at dropthediscpod at Gmail. That's right.
That's right. Dropthediscpod at Gmail.
Easy. She's been great with us, and David and I could not be more happy that she is presenting us this year.
That's right. She's still hustling.
Yes, still hustling. And also, David, have you what have you been drinking during this quarantine?
Well, as we are pretending that it's early in the morning right now, I've been drinking water most recently. But when it hits noon and when it becomes, the afternoon acceptable time in my mind, then it's time to open my Savannah River Brewery.
Yes,
and
it is.
So I actually have, I got some Blanc Kong. I stocked up on some Blanc Kong. So I got some good stuff at home, and I got a crowler of the last, by the way, I found out tangerine milkshake IPA that they had. I have the only tangerine milkshake IPA that still exists right now. I just can't pick a day important enough to drink it.
Well, it's funny you say that, because yesterday I actually went and grabbed a 6-pack of Blanc Kong and also a crowler of their double IPA flagons. And I wanted to open it up and start drinking it. And then I realized there's no way to reseal it. So a crowler's awesome, but it's basically a 32-ounce tall boy. So
that's all it is. It's a 40 minus. It's a 40 minus 8.
Once you pop it, you better drink it all, which isn't a bad thing when you're quarantined. But hey, David, before we move on, I do want to get people excited about this. We are doing a giveaway on Monday, and it's going to be throughout the whole week. It'll be on Instagram, and it is your certified booze basket, I'd say.
Yeah. So Chris, you put this together.
Yes.
I'm under the impression right now that we are not able to enter into this contest that we're doing.
Unfortunately, we are not. However, the people that are in it, we will have access to whenever, honestly.
It sounds insane. Okay. List everything that's in it.
Okay. So we'll start off with Dirty Girl. They donated their entire line of cocktail mixers. So you have all the Bloody Mary mixes, you have the margarita mix, you have the olive oil or juice mix. I don't know what it's called. I've never used it. And we're excited about that. And they threw in one of their really cool looking hats. And so I'm excited about that. And then we have Second City's vodka, Second City's gin, and Second City's rabbit spit, which is their moonshine. So we'll have that in there. Savannah River Brewery, we have a 6-pack of Finney Swamp, and we have a 6-pack of Blanky Kong. And then Riverwatch has 2 of their beers as well. And off the top of my head, I don't know.
So you put this together. It sounds like it's 4 6-packs of beer, 3 bottles of liquor, and 4 bottles of Dirty Girl Mixer.
5.
Okay.
Well,
okay.
It's their entire line. It's their entire line.
So there's like 10 different things and like 30 different consumption articles.
Correct.
That's insane.
Correct.
So what are we doing for this competition?
Okay, so this is going to be Instagram only. So what you're going to do is you're going to have to follow all the product that's in there on their Instagram. You're going to need to tag 3 people one time. And I'm not sure, I might even do a small business in there too. So you tag 3 friends and then 1 small business. And then an extra credit option would be to share it on your story and tagging us. And so more people will see that. So anyways, we're just trying to do a fun giveaway. It'll start Monday. It'll end Thursday. So the winner will be able to have a fun weekend.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So we're excited about that. But
that only lasts someone 1 weekend. I would like to talk to that person.
Right.
Their methods.
What I think that would happen is you drink all Friday night and then you drink only the mixes of a Bloody Mary for those electrolytes. And then you go back and just chug the rest.
Then you get the rabbit spit and then you close your weekend. Yeah.
Oh man. Anyway, so we're excited about that.
Mm-hmm. We're also excited about this episode.
Yes.
This episode that we're about to post. We recorded this, correct me if I'm wrong, the day of Guitar Pull.
Oh, you're right.
Right. So this is an old episode.
Yes. That was, we had to squeeze in an hour-long episode and then run to the Guitar Pull. But it was a good pregame.
I think we told the girls that we had like 45 minutes to record, and I think we recorded for an hour and a half, if I'm correct about that. So this episode is going to be a collaboration, a part 2 of the collaboration of us, Drop the Disc, with Millennials Wining, which is another podcast that's hosted locally. And we, in the first part of it, they kind of interviewed us and they kind of asked us some questions, and it was kind of their show's format. So what we're about to show you guys is the second half of that, which is more our show's format. So we got to ask them the Drop the Disc questions. We got to kind of talk to them a little more in depth. And so I think this part is going to be really interesting. I'm excited that we're finally posting it.
And for y'all to know at home, it is not going to be an hour long. It is the last half, which it will be about 15 to 20 minutes or so.
I think it's about 20 minutes.
Yes.
And after the episode, we actually do have a cool message from Coco Rubio, former guest and friend of the show, that we want to share with everybody. So do stick around after the final song.
But we took this week off and we're ready. Next week's episode is going to be with Barclay Bishop. We're really excited about that episode. Mm-hmm. But without further ado, here's the show.
Here's the show. This is a good episode.
This is one of our shorter.
What are we at right now?
An hour.
Us.
I'm probably going to release this episode in 2 halves, just to let you guys know.
So this is a collaboration.
You guys have interrogated us.
Yes, and we do appreciate those questions because no one's ever asked us those questions.
Details for the people at home, we did not type our questions, but they did type their questions.
In fact, we don't. type our questions.
We do not ever.
We do have an outline, but there's a guest introduction and there's no questions.
I don't send them to the guests though, unless they're like, I need them because I don't want them to know them.
But it's all in our
and
heads.
we didn't
so
ask
okay.
for them, but we appreciate it, Maddie, seriously, because it helped us answer them.
Not very succinctly, though. Not very
Anyway,
succinctly.
so we're going to move on. So when we have our podcast, we like to ask our guests, are you a local transplant and what brought you to Augusta?
What's your story?
Yeah,
So we'll do one at a time. We'll start with you, Maddie.
Okay.
Because you talked to us first. No offense.
Ashlyn
Say
is
none
here.
taken.
Maddie usually goes first.
Oh, that's fair. Okay.
Maddie, go first because
So
you
tell us
always
your
go
story.
first.
So we're in Augusta. We're doing these podcasts. You guys are doing a podcast. So talk to us about two things. Talk to us about how you became the person you are that is Maddie Navarro doing podcasts.
Okay.
And then talk to us about what your goals are right now, like going forward with the podcast.
Okay. So Chris.
Ignore Chris.
Well, Chris had like a
He's
different
pouring
question,
beer.
and then you had Chris's
That's
question.
important.
So I will say that I am a transplant. I'll start with that. For people who don't know, I am from Cumming, Georgia, and I came here for school. I graduated kind of like what you were saying.
And you went to Augusta University.
Went to Augusta University.
Did you graduate from Augusta University?
Did graduate from Augusta University.
Officially.
Well, I went to school at Augusta State University, graduated from Augusta University.
Same.
And so I graduated with a public relations degree. I was in Zeta to Alpha, which is where I know Chris, and vaguely we passed
You've heard my
circles.
name.
Yeah,
Zeta
you probably
man. I am a Zeta man.
But so I moved back to Cumming after graduation. Met John. Met a year later. Started dating 2
Who
years
is
later.
John?
My husband.
Oh,
And
I see.
then moved back here last year. Yeah, last year, and now we're married. But anyway, so that's the long story of my journey here in Augusta, just like logistically.
So, how did you choose Augusta State University?
I liked the campus. Their website was pretty not good at the time.
Touché.
But the photos that were on there just kind of made it look really dreamy and really like a beautiful Southern college campus. I know I was like a good student in the respect of like I could write good papers and I had my qualities, but I knew I would not be a successful student in like UGA where I was a number.
Like a big school.
Yeah, I just knew that wasn't where I was going to succeed. I knew I needed to have more. I needed to be closer to my professors to kind of keep me accountable, and I wanted to get involved, and I had a feeling that'd be a little bit easier in a smaller campus. And so we visited Augusta, and I remember driving through, and I've talked about this on the podcast a bunch of times. It was like 2009. We're driving through downtown, and it was a lot grungier than it is now. I'll use that word.
Nice.
But I think
remember, Christy Jolson described it very similarly.
Yeah, I had like the very like 90s grunge going on.
Yeah.
A lot of eyeliner, but
hair bands.
Yeah, I just remember driving through and just thinking like this town has so much potential. This town is so cool, and like just even the restaurants that were already open and like the stuff that was already there, I thought was so cool, and it was such a stark difference in like the very obviously older Southern campus up on the hill, and I was just drawn to the town as a whole. And so I just had this weird calling, and it was funny when I moved back to Cumming. I always wanted to get a cat, name it Augie, which is short for Augusta.
No,
but I ended up doing that because we moved back. But now I'm Olive.
I love it.
But
I wouldn't be surprised if that's the mascot's name at this point.
I think it might be the kids one, like for the kids.
I thought it was.
It's Augustus, I think, for the big one, and Augie for the little kids.
I think it's the Green Jackets.
Oh, that's it. You're right.
Augie.
Really?
You're right. I think you're right. Yeah,
Shout out.
But anyways, I think to what you were asking.
So you came to Augusta State University.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was very pretty. You liked downtown.
Yeah.
You graduated. What was your degree?
Public relations.
So what made you start a podcast?
So I had kind of one of my best friends, Jamie Jackson, that's her married name. She and I were put together as roommates in college. We hated each other. Then we became best friends, and we're best friends to this day.
Ashlyn looks very upset.
No.
I'm just kidding.
we're both like we're both liberal arts majors, so we both had like that really creative streak.
Same.
And when we left college, you really lose that sense of like getting to do really cool creative stuff that you really don't have the liberty of doing outside of college. And so we would talk, and like I said, I was living back in Atlanta, and she was living here. And we had ideas of doing like a blog, and then that moved into a podcast, but it was really hard being long distance. We didn't know what to do. We didn't have a John.
Then you met me and Lacey.
Well, and so then I got hired at the Chronicle, and I started working with Lacey and Ashlyn, and I think I had like kind of rolled, like it didn't have a name yet. It had, it wasn't Millennials Wining yet because I came up with the idea of the field opening.
Yeah, and then I was like, okay, so I'm a part of this and we're doing it.
So I had this idea, and I talked to Lacey and Ashlyn about it, and Ashlyn was like, I love this, like let's go to Abora,
grab a notebook, we're planning.
Flesh it out. I can never get that right.
I think that's right.
It's one of the two.
Close enough.
Hash it out. That's less gross.
Hash it out.
Flesh it out.
It's so gross. Woo. So we do that, and then we were at the grand opening of Field, and I was on Hold 30 at the time, so I couldn't drink. But I remember just standing there with Taylor Weatherford and Lacey, and just being like, Millennials Wining, like that's it, that's the name of it. It just like hit me. And so the whole original point was basically to discuss things that millennials are really curious about. You know when you're having a conversation and you're like, why didn't we ever learn that in school? So that moment was kind of the
taxes.
Yeah, like that was the jumping off point. One. And we've had that. Like we've had Sabina who's come on.
City government.
Yeah, and I worked in local government.
Shout out Sabina.
Yeah.
Sabina
Koja.
Local leader.
So Sabina was on.
If you want her episode, it's called Money Moves.
Yeah, so she talked about like financial, like being a financial advisor. What about like a 401k? If you move jobs, what you should do with that, with your retirement. And like I didn't have a 401k. So you guys are like
educating millennials.
So that was like, so that's kind of a key component, but it's also, we have interviewed a lot of entrepreneurs to help millennials take that side hustle and make it their main hustle. And then on top of that, kind of just like random fun things, like a canned wine taste test. What's the best canned wine?
We also did a very similar thing. We did a canned wine tasting.
It was fun.
It was fun. It was very
Ours
good.
was not as extensive as y'all's.
No.
Did you listen to it?
Ours was inspired by yours.
Actually, yes, yours did inspire us, and I actually did text Madi and ask her
for the best canned wine.
We didn't choose any of them because I was on a budget.
Well,
okay.
You know what I did?
Long story short.
Real talk.
Do you remember that drinking game in college? It's like Circle of Death, and you have the king cup in the middle.
The answer is yes.
We still play that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not just a college game.
Well, your girl drank the king cup of wine at the end, and it wasn't bad. It actually tasted pretty good.
She was trying to get us to drink it. We're like, not.
We need to do a follow-up episode where we just play that game.
Can we? Yeah, it's King's Cup, isn't it? I thought it was Ring of Fire.
I never played.
It's a lot of games.
I never played.
It's a lot of names.
The Ring of Fire.
They freaked scared me. I never played drinking games.
I'm Pong champion.
But anyways, I think that answers your guys' question. I think that answers it.
Thank you.
And we will now redirect that question to the Pong champion herself.
Oh, God.
Ring of Fire champion.
The Ring of Fire Pong champion, who, by the way, I need to play you apparently.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
So I am from Augusta, and
where'd you go to school?
I went to Curtis Baptist High School.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. I went to Westminster. Nothing's wrong with it.
I think you just talked her down.
Right. No, nothing's wrong with it.
Thank you. But I was one of those, Augusta kids that said, when I go to college, I want to go as far away as I can, and I did without getting out of state. I went to Young Harris College.
We passed each other on I-20.
Yeah, we passed each other on the way.
It was fate.
It was. And then when I graduated, I moved to Ireland. And then I lived there for a while and moved back and realized how much I loved Augusta and how great it was. Although I loved Ireland. And
I love the stark contrast you present there.
I love Ireland, but Augusta, it was home. And at the time when I lived here, I was too young to do anything fun, and there wasn't a lot to do. And when I moved back, I really realized, wow, why do people hate on this place? It's so great. There are so many awesome things here. There are so many opportunities for growth. And especially when I got into the sales industry, when I worked at the Chronicle with Madi, where we met, it baffled me the amount of businesses that were stunting their growth because of all the opportunities Augusta had that they didn't want to jump on.
So we've covered the backstory. So how did you guys end up starting this podcast? Where's your half of this story for the Millennials Wining?
So my half is I was, just piddling at my desk, like, Maddie, what you doing? And she was, working. And
she was working, and you were just sitting around.
I had just come back from a sales call, and I was like, let's go.
You were just done with Ring of Fire.
Yeah. I was like, let's go to lunch.
A mid-game Ring of Fire game.
I was like, let's go to lunch. What's she doing? And she's like, actually, I'm thinking about this podcast, and we talked about it. I was like, oh, I like podcasts. What's it about? And she told me Millennials Wining. I was like, so why aren't we doing this now? Because I am in this, and it is a we now.
Nice.
And she said, all right. And we went to Abora. I said, let's go to Abora, grab a notebook and a pencil, and let's map it out. Let's do this. Let's storyboard it. Let's brainstorm it. Let's get this down. And so we went, and Lacey, I don't think Lacey or Jamie met us that
Lacey
day.
was there.
Did she? She finally came?
Yeah, she came that day.
So she came on later, and then we told Jamie, we're like, hey, do you mind if this happens? And Jamie's like, no, let's do it. And so we all had ramen.
And those are your other two co-hosts.
Yeah, Jamie
who are
and
not
Lacey.
here today.
Nope.
For the Drop Disgusta fans.
One's in the witness protection program, and the other one just had a baby.
Is that actually true? Is she actually in the witness protection
We
program?
don't really know.
Well, let's go with that story because it's cool.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
cool. I think that's fine. So who's y'all's favorite guests that you've had?
I have a couple different ones. Like I said, I always have couples. Do you know yours? Do you want to go first?
I do.
Go first.
Wow.
Okay, I-
Ashlyn, you go first
There's a
because
first
Maddie
for
always goes
everything.
first.
Yeah.
I have two. Thank you. One is Leah Cheshire. I went to school with her, and she is the social media person at NASA.
Wow,
And
that's
she's
cool.
super cool. I love her.
Wow, I
She-
just yawned, but it wasn't because I was boring. That was really cool.
She had a lot
bad
of
timing, I
it's
swear.
fine. It's fine. She had a lot of really cool insight, and I'd really love to have her back on in like a year or two and see what else she's been up to there, because I think she's going to go high in the
super
ranks.
cool.
My other person is my unofficial brother-in-law, Zachary
That
McCabe.
was fun.
Zach McCabe.
Love
Wow.
Zach McCabe. He's the best.
Is he at all equal parts?
He is.
I think we might know
Is he
him.
really,
He is
really,
all equal
really
parts
tall?
of a human.
He is.
I'm just kidding.
He's the tallest person in our house.
He is.
His wife is tall too, so
April
they
is
go
tall.
well together.
April and I are about the same height. You can see the resemblance,
like
right?
Yeah.
It was like the only time other than our
You just have longer hair than she does.
Yeah.
She
right
used
now.
to have long
right
hair.
now.
When I met her,
Right
she had
now.
long hair.
John actually got tipsy in that episode because he was drinking with us.
Yeah.
He doesn't usually
There's
drink
nothing
with us.
wrong with
There's
that.
there's no shame.
I
No, it was
actually,
great.
He makes very
What
What was
well.
that drink he made for
very
me?
good.
That strawberry whiskey drink? Oh boy.
Oh.
I'll tell you what.
Did we-
Was it a Juliet?
No, it was unique to me.
It
Thank
was
you very
Oh,
much.
unique to
we
him.
had-
It was a David Bass drink.
Oh,
And that's what we will call it from now on.
The
He
David
made
Bass.
4 different
I'll order
cocktails.
it.
I would order it.
Sounds good.
Ash, he made 4 different cocktails? 2 tikis, the one with the cool ice in the wine, and then that like sour
Oh,
one at the end.
the New England sour.
We were all
It has like
Feeling real
Malbec.
good at the end.
It has
I'm
like
glad
a
you
Malbec
finished that
floater.
F word.
Thank you.
Because
for that, yeah. We were
for our listeners,
feeling great.
I think it has like a Malbec floater on top.
It was good.
wow.
But you know who else I loved? I loved Scott Russell.
Oh, that
He
was
was
good too.
awesome at 6 Bites In.
Not
we are,
Stein.
we are
Not
also
6 by
having
Stein.
him on as well.
He
Give
was
us a
fun.
little
Scott's
heads
the
up.
best. We
Does
did
he eat a lot on the show?
We didn't
No.
eat.
But beforehand, he and I did a wine tasting at the Hive.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, we
Wow.
ordered.
Great way to
Content
start.
right there.
I like that.
Reordered
Yeah.
one of every wine on the menu, and we tasted it
That is
and
so
ate some
cool.
poutine, and then we headed to Maddie's for the.
That's a
podcast.
day right there.
Yeah,
It was
wow.
fun.
That's incredible. We'll have to somehow one up that.
And we will guess. Don't worry.
Maddie, what about you?
So I was trying to think. I had 4 that I was going to rapid fire through. I think my 2, so my 2 that were like educational, I think was Sally, who's Sally Shuvard. Yes, she's a real estate agent. So talking about how millennials can go about buying a house was
Oh,
really
okay.
cool.
We
and,
did
like,
something similar with Nancy Holwine at Concierge Realty.
So that was really awesome. Same with Sabina,
Okay.
about like finances and getting invested and how you should do that now.
Yeah.
So those are my 2 like educational ones I really liked. Fun ones, of course, for April Henry King. Like I said, totally fangirled over her coming. I think I wore like the broads on broad, like the pink broads on broad shirt when she
You
came.
did.
Nice.
We love April. Deke was our first like major guest. April was our first major social media 21st century guest.
Yeah.
We fangirled for Deke, and we also fangirled for April.
Also,
Yeah.
Brad thought we kidnapped her, so that was fun. 'Cause
Nice.
She had never so that was funny.
Oof.
And then Ashley Osborne from
my job.
from WJBF, she was really
yes,
cool.
that's right.
And
Yeah.
we've had her
My
on
job.
twice. She's been on twice. She had so much fun. She was like, let's do it again. We talked about life hacks the second time, but the first time was really cool getting to talk about the story she's covered and like how impactful her job
Yeah.
is. Because I think she was in Charleston when the Charleston shooting had happened. And
Wow.
so getting to cover that and like being in the courthouse. So that was
Wow.
a really, really deep episode to record. And that was also
It's
just
probably
a really
a long episode.
It wasn't our longest, I don't think. April's came in like 3 hours. Yeah.
I don't have that much time.
John was laying on the floor like, stop talking.
He's like,
where
wake me
is
up
all
when
the
you're-
cool parts?
He's like, wake me up when you're done. I don't care.
That was like our very first show. We didn't have a setup, but those are mine.
Okay, so we have one more question.
Okay.
We have the same question for
Okay.
both of you. And this is a drop the disc classic. So I'm going to let you guys choose in which order you answer this question.
Okay.
The question is,
But it's a big deal.
what does drop the disc from Disgusta?
Dropping the disc from Augusta,
What does that mean to you personally?
personally.
And we've had just to let you know, we've had a lot of people answer this question.
We've had written answers in advance.
We've had deep into another realm answer, and we've also had just
We've had
what they
deep into another realm answers.
and then we've had what the first thing you think of. So it's however you want to answer.
No
this.
pressure.
No pressure. Seriously.
I think this is really easy for me. Do you want to go or?
Either one. I have my
Maddie,
Slight
you go
flex.
ahead.
Slight flex, Maddie.
Thank you. For me, it's really easy because I chose to live here.
Yeah,
I
sure.
wasn't born here. I chose to come here. I chose to come back. Even though there's no moving because his family's been here since the 1700s. But, for me,
Impressive.
I think it's kind of like two part. It's definitely what you were touching on, Chris, which is it's making a home here.
Yeah.
It's not feeling like you have to be here. It's not that getting stuck, because that was my fear. I loved Augusta so much that I was like, I have to get away because I'll
Right.
never leave if I don't.
Yeah.
And so for me, it was coming back, planting roots, and like, this is where we're going to raise our family, and trying to be a part of that. And right now I'm kind of in a transitionary period trying to figure out fully what that means for me.
Right.
But coming here and being a part of the community and putting into that, working in local government, that's something I got to see firsthand. But I think also kind of what you were touching on with Amanda Bryan, because we touch a little bit more on politics than you guys do, obviously.
We tried to avoid it.
Yeah.
I don't. But I
Me
agree.
too.
I agree. You can't complain if you're not going to be part of it.
Right.
And that can be a little as voting.
True.
I love that.
It can be a part of running for city council or commissioner, wherever you are.
Yeah.
Well, wherever you are.
Yeah.
It's in little things, being on volunteer boards, things like that, like whether
That's
it's
a big deal.
Yeah. So and those are things that I'm kind of like I'm saying right now, like transitioning into what am I going to do in that respect? But I think that's part of it. You can't drop the disc if you're not going to be a part of it. So stepping up, being involved, investing yourself, because you get to reap what you sow. And I think Augusta is a really, really awesome place, even if you don't do anything, because there are so many people, working their asses off to do that.
Yeah.
But I think if the more you put into it, the even more special it's going to be.
I don't
awesome.
know how I'm
Thank
going to follow that.
Good luck.
Actually, so I've thought about this a lot recently.
Thank you.
I've been on a few dates recently, and I've noticed that all of them have said something about Disgusta. And I'm like...
And they never got second dates.
Right. They didn't, actually. And I was thinking, your really small-minded opinion could be formed if you could get out and, go see what actually is in Augusta instead of staying on the outskirts.
Scorched earth. Take it to them.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, and I've thought about this with my friends that live in Atlanta. They're like, oh, Augusta, what's Augusta? It's just the National, right? And I'm like, no, it's not only the Augusta National. We actually have a great downtown. We have great performers. We have great artists. We have great food. It's just an amazing place to be.
Yeah.
And Augusta has a lot to offer, and people are really just uninformed around here in the older generations, or people that didn't live in Augusta but lived on the outskirts. I just feel like a lot of people think, oh, Disgusta, oh, downtown's a rough place. It's not anymore. Get out, form your own opinion, and you can use that advice in other aspects of your life as well. Get
Short
out
and sweet. I love it.
Form your own opinion.
I love it. Thank you, Ashlyn.
That should be on a Hallmark card.
Get out.
Get out. Form your own opinion.
That could be a very long but acceptable hashtag.
Hashtag get out, form your own opinion.
Hashtag get out. Hashtag form your own opinion.
All right, so we're going to take a break real quick, and we're going to let you guys at Millennials Wining, we're going to let you guys close it out when we get back.
All right.
And like we said, we're going to take a quick break real quick. Chris, why don't you get us started since you're our social media guru?
Again, if you've been following us on Instagram, if you don't, go ahead and follow us. You'll see all of our partners that we've posted this week. And one of them that we are super excited about is the Little Guide. We have been going back and forth with the final edits of our page that will be in the 2020 edition. And David and I could not be more happy to see that in the Little Guide. If you don't know what I'm talking about, and when COVID-19 quarantine is over, go to small businesses, go inside a small business, mostly restaurants, but mostly all downtown. You'll find this little red book, and it'll say Little Guide to Augusta on the front, probably 2019, but still
2020.
After COVID-19, they're going to go. They already printed them.
We'll have to confirm that, but their printing is supposed to be in April. So I think they're still printing.
Okay. So thank you for that, David.
We'll have to fact check this. I'll have to text Stuart. A little aside here, we can confirm that the Little Guide will be coming out with their 2020 edition soon, and plans to have it out by the end of the pandemic.
Okay. And then just flip through it, and it says all the stories of all the small businesses, the backstories. It tells you what they do. It doesn't just have restaurants. It has entertainment. It has small storefronts, shops, boutiques, all the things that you would want to see in a city, especially Augusta. And now you'll be able to flip through and see us, Drop the Disc podcast, which we're super excited about. This partnership that we've created has become more of a relationship. We're already a part of their family, which is incredible. And, speaking of being another part of another family, David.
The Clubhouse family.
Thank you.
No, I'm kidding. Right now is a pretty tough time, I think, to have a small business, especially if you're just starting one like me. And if you're having a tough time, you probably have a lot of questions like, how should I be marketing what I'm doing? Or what should my sales look like? Or what is the government doing to help me? Or, there's hundreds of questions you're probably asking yourself. The cool thing about the Clubhouse, the cool thing about the Cyber Center is that they're literally in existence to answer those questions and connect you with people that'll help you answer those questions. Anyone with a small business in Augusta joining a membership with the Clubhouse, I think is a great opportunity. It's not only an open office space concept if you're super small, but if you're bigger, they have events. They have larger space if you're ever doing work on the office. I've seen accountants. I've seen staffing firms in there. It's an awesome place. They've been in Augusta for 7+ years. Helping small businesses. And we really want to encourage, if anybody's out there with a business wondering about the next step, you don't have to pay anything to go talk to them. Go talk to the Cyber Center, go see what they have to offer. we're pretty sure that you're going to like it. We're pretty sure we're pretty confident it's going to help you.
Absolutely.
We're going to throw it back to you guys. We have basically completed our elements of the show. We will now allow you, Millennials Wining, absolutely allow.
Because we're about to sprint to Guitar Pull.
We're going to sprint.
Well, before you
Good thing it's not far away.
We need
it's not.
one answer from you guys, and this can come from both of you. What millennial are you guys? We want you guys to do our millennial mention. So what millennial do you guys think needs a shout out? Can be anyone ever.
Ooh.
As long as they're millennial.
I'm going to shout out Chris real quick, first of all.
Okay. Chris Pratt?
Yeah, that one.
I can't tell the difference.
Napoltz.
I can't tell the difference.
That's good. That's
wow. Let me do a shout out, actually. I'm going to shout out Grant Wharf. Grant Wharf is not specifically a friend of the show. He is actually in Delta Chi at Augusta University. He is my youngest little brother, which if you're in Greek life, you know what that means. If not, then I just said nonsense to you. But he just won a fantastic award that he definitely deserves. He plans all of their social events, and he did a fantastic job. He is about to graduate, and so I'd like to give him a millennial shout out. He is younger than me. I was born in 95. I don't know if he's technically a millennial, but I'm going to give it to him anyways. I'll also shout out all the guests that we've shared and that we've had. April King, she's a huge advocate of Augusta. Sabina, she is a very smart woman. She will win some sort of award sometime very soon with some sort of society. I know she was very close with LLS, Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, last year. Yeah. She will definitely win something in the future. And I'll also shout out, let's see, Jeff Haas.
I haven't heard that name in a minute.
That's great.
Exactly. Many people have not. I'll also shout out one more, Blaine Rashu. Blaine Rashu is giving me a ticket to Guitar Pull, and he's actually sitting outside watching us record right now. Yeah. Fantastic guy, giving me a free ticket. Can't ask for more. And shout out to you guys as well for doing this collab with us.
Well, I'm going to answer your question and not create my own question in my head. I'm going to do one millennial.
Sorry.
Mainly because
I make my own rules.
He already mentioned a lot of the millennials that I was going to shout out, but I'm going to shout out Sean Mooney. Sean Mooney was a guest of our show, and
is he a millennial?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, a millennial is
believe
what?
You. They go into the 80s.
Yeah, he's a millennial for sure. He is. Not only was he a guest on our show, not only is he also known as the Tangent King. He is from I always say Canadian, but
I thought you were going to say Connecticut, honestly.
He is Canadian.
Have y'all ever done that? Anyways, he is from Canada.
Canadian.
But he is, his family is in Augusta. They've always been create your own business, whatnot. And he is just the same. Family man, has kids, but he is also a huge marketer for Augusta, Georgia. He is the director at Show Pony, which is a huge marketing firm that works with Weir Stewart. Does great job. But he's also fun. I mean, if you walk in his office, he's got a Coke machine that he's made sure that you don't pay for, and you can get anything you want, including beer and
Miller
wine
Lite
out of a vending machine. I mean, it's just everything you want, but at the same time, he's also running for commissioner, and
which is pretty crazy for a millennial.
It's pretty cool. Awesome. It's pretty cool because he really wants to make sure that the change stays.
Millennials changing the world,
and that's my shout out. He's making a change. He is sticking to his guns, and he is also cool with drinking alcohol and having a blast with people on a professional level is the same way.
And 2 seconds added.
I think that's what a millennial is.
It's on brand.
100%.
2 seconds added. I'm going to shout out Sean Cash. I don't know if he's a millennial.
He is.
But he's a cool
my
guy.
Age.
And
he's actually 28.
Hey, listen, man, whatever. I just want to add him to the list.
You answered this way too long, David. You're fired.
Do you guys want to run through your socials?
Anybody listening, you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and email at dropthedispod.
We just want to let y'all know that we're going to start doing this every episode. That, if y'all want to get to know us, if y'all want to talk about Augusta or have anything to share with us, we're really open. We're all about going to Metro, getting a beer. We're all about going to Savannah River Brewery, getting a beer.
There's a theme.
Stillwater, anywhere that has beer or
an aggressive theme,
other alcohol products. But
we will take coffee. We just do not.
Ubor is a great spot.
Ubor is fantastic.
But anyways, the point is, we're all about getting to know y'all. If you want to get to know us, you can totally shoot us an email
or slide in our DMs
on Insta. Yes,
on
totally
Insta.
Slide in our DMs.
Slide in our DMs.
Okay, well, we also can be reached at our email at millennialswining@gmail.com.
Our Instagram at Millennials Wining, and our Facebook, Millennials Wining, and Wining is WINING.
We also have our website, millennialswining.com. Guys, if you like this episode, both ours
or ours,
comment or give us a review, subscribe, and we'd really appreciate it.
Oh, heck yeah.
And on the same page, we never say this.
We should
definitely review our stuff, too.
We're going to write these down.
5 stars both ways, guys. Come on.
These
are great ideas. If you could email me your agenda, and I'll just...
Well, you have a paper copy.
Yeah.
There you go. We'll take pictures.
Guys, thank you so much. This has been so fun.
We had a blast.
Cheers.
No, thank you so much. We all ran... I'll finish mine, I guess.
That's
there
bad.
you go.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you, John. Are we good?
Yeah.
All right.
So, hey guys, one of our episodes was with Coco Rubio, and he sent me a message and he asked me to shout this out. It's csra.co, and that is a website. So csra.co is an easy way to support your favorite small businesses here in Augusta, and you can all do it right there. Basically, it's a inventory of, is that right? The directory. It's a directory of all the small businesses in Augusta, and it points you in ways to support them in this time of COVID-19. And from what it looks like it's a great opportunity for right now during this time. But when COVID-19 is gone and the quarantine and we're done, this is also a great way to pinpoint what kind of business you're looking for. You can go search the name, you can go search what you're looking for, and it's right there. And the best part is it's local. It's locally run, which is great. So check it out, csra.co.
Yeah,
csra.co.
CO, and it breaks stuff into categories. It makes it super easy. It's definitely worth the 30 seconds to check out what it looks like and be impressed.
Absolutely. And also something that we are very excited to start, and it is
tentatively excited.
Yes, we are. It is just the beginning. It's just an idea, but we want to share it with all of our fans. If you listen to the very end of all of our episodes, we do ask y'all to leave us reviews on specifically iTunes, because that does help with our SEO, which stands for what?
Search engine optimization.
Thank you. And but at the same time, it helps us know how to get better. David and I are not shy of critique, and we do appreciate any kind of comments you have. So one way that we've added or want to add for some more engagement would be a phone number that you can call and leave a voice
review.
Or a shout out or anything you want. And so basically this voicemail is recorded and saved and potentially will be on our next episodes. Just a way to shout y'all out, shout out our fans, or even it's also good for us to hear that we're doing something good or something we need to get better at. And, we want to grow. We want to grow.
If you win the alcohol basket and you're up at night and you're trying to think of a number to prank call,
oh, that'd be great.
Give us a call.
Yeah, but make sure you leave your at least one name. Leave your first name. If you don't care, give us your first and last name. We don't care, and we would love to shout you out on our episodes, and we want your voice to be heard.
And the number is 762-218-3099. Now we know it's not 706, and that's because it's a Google Voice number, because we're not buying a new phone just for your reviews. But we are very excited to hear your reviews all the same. And we are very excited to start posting the fun reviews in the episodes. So please call, please leave them, because you will be a co-host on the show for the day that we post your review. kind of.
Yes.
Directly.
And I'm going to get that soundbite and I'm going to make it a soundbite post on Instagram. So y'all have it constantly if you forgot the number.
Our goal is if you leave a great review, we would like to make you famous.
Augusta famous.
Yeah. Local famous.
Awesome. That's all I got, David.
That's all I got. Thank you guys for tuning in and listening to this episode. It is an episode we've been kind of excited to release for a while now. I think the conversation was a ton of fun. We were drinking wine and beer when we were recording this, so we're in a different state of mind, as
Absolutely.
you could probably tell. And we're just really excited that you guys are here with us right now, and we hope everyone's staying safe.
Yes. Y'all stay safe. If you go out 6 feet apart.
That's right.
We're going to get through this, and we're out.
We're out. Thank you guys.
Love y'all.